I just saw many people building their small coffee shops or building their small business. They don't earn much, but it's really fun for them to do. And so that kind of gave me the push to or ignite the dream of building something on my own.
He makes things work and I make things fun.
If I don't try back then, I would probably never gonna try it.
I came to Canada when I was 12, so it's like almost 20 years. I was super lonely.
When you guys felt lonely or you felt like you're by yourself, what kind of things do you do to work through those emotions?
I draw, I make stuff. I have a sewing machine and I learned from my grandma. I know how to sew myself like a dress, stuffed toys, like that.
That's
and
cool.
So I just immerse myself into those things.
Hello, Ryan and Sarah. Welcome to Kelly Talks Brand. For people that don't know you, do you mind introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ryan. I was a product designer at different startups, and now I'm trying to build my own company, own apps with Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a freelance illustrator and graphic designer, and we are building an app together right now.
That's awesome. So I'm curious, what was a moment that made you think that why don't we build something of our own, like an app? Was it frustration from the current job situation, curiosity, or a shift that how do you see the future?
So for me, when we had this idea, I already quit my job. I started trying out different other things, and nothing really worked for me. At that time, AI is getting really good at coding. I thought this is good opportunity for us to try to build an app. It was just a kind of like a dream of myself for a long time, but I just never got to learn or never learn how to coding. It was quite hard for me. Now AI is getting really good, so this is a good opportunity for me to try.
And for me, because I do lots of illustrations already, so I create things always. So when Ryan says let's do an app, I'll say like, yeah, let's do it then. Because it doesn't really cost me anything, because I draw anyways. If it doesn't work, I'll just post it on my social media. It will like work anyway.
How do you guys work together, coordinate? Like I guess you do most illustration and Ryan focus on the tech side.
Yeah, that's about it. She also works on the marketing
side.
side of things, like posting on social media, creating videos, and we worked together on some of the gaming mechanics in the app.
Yeah.
And she's very creative in terms of like thinking about all the bring more characters or personalities into the app. And I'm more like a not traditional, but like I'm more like a logical. So I work on PM, dev, design, that type of role.
Yeah, it's kind of like he is on the serious side. Like he makes things work and I make things fun.
Yeah, I think that's a great combination because if both of you want to make it fun, nothing gonna get done on the project management side. The app won't be built; it'll just be like illustration after illustration.
Yeah.
And like I'm also an international student, immigrant in Canada. I feel like personally from my parents' side, they always want us to be in a stable job, finding something that you could work there for years. What was your mindset shift that allowed you to just say, I'm going to quit my job or try something new? It might not go anywhere, but at least I will get started.
So it was a bit long story. I'll try to keep it short. I was during university. I already want to create something on my own, but I just didn't really have the resources or the knowledge or anything to do it. And a couple of years ago, my last job paid really well. So financially, it gave me some safety net to allow me to try things. And just a couple months before I quit my job, I went to Taiwan for a 2 weeks trip. And during that trip, I just saw many people building their small coffee shops or building their small business. They don't earn much, but it's really fun for them to do. That gave me the push to or ignite the dream of building something on my own. I spent a couple months talking with a career coach, trying to figure out is this the best move for me, or was I just wanting to quit a job because I didn't want to deal with my work situation or not. Yeah. So after a couple sessions, to realize it's not an easy path to choose by quitting the job. It's actually the harder one, and I didn't want to make it like I'm choosing the easy way out by not fixing or trying to solve the problem at my job, if that makes sense. So yeah, after that, I just decided I'm gonna quit. If this thing doesn't work, it will be just a long gap year for me, and that will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
For me, because we went to the same university, I chose my fine art illustration major. The major doesn't really sound like can lead me to a stable job already. And so I wasn't thinking that much. I just thought I like drawing, so I'm gonna do it anyways. And it will eventually work out. And from my family side, they didn't give me any pressure on that. They give me a lot of support, and I don't need to pay rent right now. So I don't need to survive, and I don't need to make lots of money to survive, I say. And starting from my grad school, I already have freelance job, and I start a little brand with my friend. We do customization, silk scarf, and some paintings. So I already start my own business already, like in grad school. So it's kind of like a smooth transition after I graduate. Yeah, so I just continue doing my freelance job and start my own business.
Yeah, so sounds like you got a lot of support from your parents, and they're not giving you a lot of pressure. And financially, you're like on the stable side. You don't have to worry about how much money is coming in. Yeah, I would say that's a great starting point to try out entrepreneur and building your own business.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, for sure. So for Ryan, I guess you definitely save some money on your own, but like what does your parents say? Were they supportive, or what are their thoughts?
Yeah, well, I didn't tell them until I made the decision because I don't want them to
Stop you from doing it?
stop me from doing that. Or they can't really stop, but at least I don't want to hear about all the talks. So my mom was okay with it. She definitely thinks I should stay at the job. It paid really well, but yeah, she's fine with me trying stuff. And at that time, when I told her, did I quit it already?
It's a distant memory.
I don't remember if I already quit or at least I'm about to quit or I already gave the notice to my company, so it's already kind of late. Yeah.
I see. So just kind of like, I'm going to do my thing and then we'll worry about it later kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Friends around you, they're like, were they all supportive? Are they like curious, or they all think, oh, that's a great idea? Do you get support from your friends? Or
it was kind of surprise for them, I would say, because I told them after my Taiwan trip, that was around January, and they were like, oh, that's awesome, like you should go for it, try it out. But I was saying I wasn't really sure about whether it's a good idea. And after a couple weeks, I told them, oh, I'm gonna quit, and it will be probably in the next couple months. And after a couple weeks, I told them, oh, it will be next week. So for them it happened quite fast because at the very beginning I wasn't really sure, and just in a relatively short amount of time, I kind of made up my mind.
Was there any uncertainties or unsureness in this whole process? Like you thought this might be a bad decision or this might work out? Like what kind of kept you moving forward? If you learned something new so far, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so it can produce more content like this for you.
I think in my mind, I knew I wanted to quit the job. It just, I wasn't really sure whether I didn't want to quit the job because I get frustrated at my job and I didn't want to deal with all the problems. But after figuring out with my career coach that quitting the job is the harder way, I'm choosing my own path. I need to actively work on building my own brand or own personality, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So after knowing that, it was relatively easy decision for me because I saved enough. I didn't have much liability at that time. Yeah, so if I don't try back then, I would probably never gonna try it again.
Can I ask how old are you guys? Like in your 20s?
No, we're in the
And you guys both 31?
Yeah, we're both 31.
I applaud for your confidence and your strength and courage of moving forward. I think maybe we had more freedom in North America because if you're in China, you're like, when you're 30, it's like getting married, have kids is like, oh, I'm going to quit my job and start a new app. I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
That's not going to go very well. Maybe not the parents, maybe just the people around you, like societal pressure. Like I'm in my 30s too, like 35. And I quit my job early this year and decided to do my own business, social media. And I didn't tell my parents either. Like I just quit and I told them after the fact because I don't want to hear them, oh, you should get a stable job. And they still tell me after I tell them. But I kind of gave myself a 1 year gap year just to try it out. If nothing works, I can always go find another job. I think that's probably your mindset too. You know, if it doesn't work out, we really need money, we can always find another job.
Yeah, definitely. Now, but the thing for me is I didn't want to get another job anymore. Like my original plan was only try this for a year. Now it's almost 3 years by now, and I didn't make enough money to continue doing this. But I really want to make this work. So I really didn't want to get another job. The whole process of job hunting is
it's very draining. I agree.
It's draining. It's boring for me as well. So yeah, it's kind of hard to go back now.
I think it's great to try out something new and then do something that you really feel passionate about. Because I feel like life is short. So if you doing something you genuinely passionate about, that's the meaning of life. Or just try out things because things might work out. Because either you learn something, or you win. Because either way, I think there's benefits and gain instead of losing in this process. I'm curious about moving abroad because I've been in Canada for like over 18 years. Like half of my life I spent in Canada. I'm not sure how long you guys stayed in Vancouver. Was that only a few years after Emily Carr, or how long have you guys been in Canada for?
For me, I've been living in Vancouver for 13 years. 13 years. Yeah, so it's a long time as well.
I came to Canada when I was 12, so it's like almost 20 years.
20 years. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
Are you identify as Chinese still, or like what part of your identity from your hometown kind of changed the most after moving to Canada?
For me, I really don't know how I'm identify myself. Technically, I'm a Canadian because I do have a Canadian passport, but I don't feel that Canadian. And I'm sort of in this in between states. I definitely don't feel Chinese as well. Along my sort of culture I'm still very Chinese in terms of like the kind of food I eat or the kind of people. Yeah, culturally, yes. But in terms of the kind of the knowledge or content I'm exposed to, I'm more of Western nice in a way. So, yeah, so I just don't really know how I identify myself, and I guess that's fine. Just need to find what's comfortable for me.
And for Sarah,
most of the people may think because I came so young, I may fully fit in already. But I think it's because I came too young. I want that kind of connection with my homeland. So like the more you distant from it, you want it more. I make friends with international students in my high school and junior high school, and I want that connection to exist. So I think I'm like fully Chinese. Yeah, but I think I have the sense of belonging here in Vancouver because I lived here for like 10, 12, 13 years already. Yeah. Around 13 years. And the people and the memories and all the environment makes me feel I belong here.
I think for me, belonging and like feeling that you're anchored or rooted in the space is very hard for me. Because I was in East Canada, like in Toronto before. In 2019, I moved here in Vancouver. I always felt like I don't know if Ryan felt the same or if any of you felt this before. It's like I always felt like I'm drifting, like on the ocean somewhere. Because like my homeland, of course, is China. I moved here when I was 17, went to school, graduated, work, and like kind of moved cities after 70 years in Toronto. Then the friends that you met in that city is like you're not connecting with them, but you're not connecting in the deeper level as what you were doing before. And moving to Vancouver, because only being here for like a few years and COVID started in 2019, it was really hard to make friends and like feel like you belong somewhere. I always felt that I was moving, transitioning from one spot to another. And I don't know how, I guess, Sarah, you felt that you're more like belonged in Vancouver. I'm not sure what Ryan felt. Do you feel like confused or you feel like, hey, this is how I am? Or have you met people who felt the same?
Yeah, I definitely felt more connected to Vancouver as well, just because I spent more time in Vancouver than any other city. I left my hometown when I was 12, so I never had a connection with my hometown anyway. And for Vancouver, yeah, definitely all my good friends are here, and I do feel that kind of anchor, but that only happens in the last couple of years after COVID. And yeah, I never had a close friend before COVID, so somehow COVID helped me in a way. So right now, I don't have a good word to identify myself, but I do feel connected with people in Vancouver.
I did hear you guys all came here when you were super young, like 12. Were you living in like a boarding school or like, so not boarding school, like a homestay family? Like you're living with another family here? I came here when I was 17, 18. So kind of like adult-like. I didn't have to stay with a stranger family by myself. How did you feel like in terms of the challenges as you came here? Like, how did you overcome those? Or like, did you feel lonely? Was it support groups there since you came here when you were 12?
Definitely. I was super lonely.
Yeah.
When I first time came here. I went to a junior high school that only have 2 Chinese students. Like, and I don't know that person very well. He's in a different grade, so we didn't talk a lot. So I am the only international student also, so I feel super lonely. And what do I learn from that? I think I learned to solve things myself. I rarely ask help from others, but I don't think it's a good thing because sometimes you do need to ask help from others so you solve things faster than yourself.
For me, I left my hometown at 12, go to another city in China. It's a boarding school. So I'm kind of used to this living in another city, live with strangers. When I came to Canada around 17, I stayed at a homestay as well. It was all right. I definitely, I guess I didn't feel that lonely, but I'm lonely, like for sure. Just like I didn't feel that much, just because I guess I'm used to it. It was all right. Overall, I do kind of wish, because when I came to Canada first, I studied at Chilliwack. It was a small town in BC. Not a lot of people over there, and definitely not a lot of international students. And I kind of wish that if I study at Vancouver or even like Burnaby, things might get easier. But I think that's fine. I haven't really thought about that too much, honestly.
So when you guys felt lonely or you felt like you're by yourself, what kind of things do you do to kind of work through those emotions? Like read books, go outside, spend time with friends? Like how do you usually work through and like kind of eventually overcome? Like, it's a working in progress, but how do you guys kind of help you feel better?
I write diaries.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Express
and
your emotions.
yeah, and I like draw, I make stuff. I have like a sewing machine,
Oh, you
and
do?
I
Okay.
yeah, I do. And I learned from my grandma. I know how
Mm.
to sew myself like a dress, stuffed toys, like that.
That's
And so
cool.
I just immerse myself into those things.
Mhm.
And I made a lot of friends in high school because there was
Mhm.
like lots of international students,
Mhm.
and we were really good friends. And yeah, that was like quite a happy time. I um started drawing from that time, so I feel like drawing is very comforting for
Mhm.
myself. So that's why I choose this major.
Yeah, that's great that you're doing something that's comforting, and sounds like you have a gift too. You're like sewing, doing other things. Like I saw the cute cats that you're drawing. Those are really adorable.
Thank you.
Yeah. And for Ryan,
For me, I started watching like 康熙来了
one.
an anime show. Yes, that really helped me go through a lot. And later on, I pick up origami just as kind of like a
Oh,
hobby, just to kill some time because, uh, yeah, I also didn't have much to do after school. Just try to find things to do. So, I spend time on the internet as well. Yeah,
the usual
yeah, the
scrolling.
usual stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have a collection of origamis that you fold them? Like you probably did a
No,
lot.
I don't keep them anymore.
No.
Only did in the last year during high school. It helped me to get into anime car as well because they
Mm.
were kind of my portfolio.
Yeah, because you guys in the beginning of our conversation, you guys mentioned that you guys worked together to create this app. Because I know sometimes like it's kind of hard for personality to work together. So as a couple, how do you guys kind of complement each other? What have you learned about communication while building this app together?
So yeah, we kind of mentioned it earlier.
Mhm.
I'm definitely more on the logic side, and Sarah is more creative. So we just take up different responsibility, which is really nice to have each other work on different things and move it forward. In terms of communication,
We are
I
kind of
don't know.
chill. Like we are kind of like both a chill person, so
Yeah,
we don't really have conflicts, like lots of conflicts. So I think most of the time our opinion are the same. So
Mm.
yeah. Or even if they are not the same, it's pretty easy to convince another
yeah,
that this is the right way to do.
Mhm.
And at least for this app, it definitely helps to write down stuff because we
Mhm.
just have so many things to
mm,
work on, especially a lot of like small little icons she needs to draw or whatnot. So if I just told her, she's not gonna remember it. So we just have to write down things and keep track of
too many
everything.
stuff.
So is Ryan, you're more like the structured type, and then Sarah is more like the creative. Like you kind of give her the structure of what you guys create, and then she kind of just delivers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For this app, I'm definitely more like a client, and she's more like a
You're a PM. She's the
yeah, yeah,
creator.
yeah, for sure.
And from your experience so far, like what would you tell another international student or newcomers who wants to start a creative or tech project, but they feel stuck or they don't feel like confident in themselves? What would you tell them?
I would say just always start small because
Mhm.
you don't want to think too much about all the details, all the possible things you can do. It's really overwhelming. Just try to find what's the smallest part you can do and can delivers your showcase your idea, um, and just work on that. Now there are so many tools to help you to do that, um, and just get started is always more important.
So I would say if you have a lot of pressure to start something, maybe just start it as a side project. If it fails, like nothing lose. Yeah. Starting is always important than success.
Mhm. And how do you guys usually divide in terms of how much time each person spend on the project? Because I know Sarah, you mentioned you have your own business. You kind of start your own graphic design, illustration stuff. So how much, in terms of percentage, how much time do you spend on this project, and for Ryan too?
I'm kind of working on this full time now. I don't have any projects going on. I had some design projects, but I just try to spend most of my time on the app. I do want to make it work. Yeah, it's my full time job.
It's like 40 hours a week.
More than.
It depends.
More than
It
that.
really depends.
For me, I didn't really count. Maybe like 30 of my freelance job and 70 of the app. And sometimes I don't have freelance job. I get it like for a period of time. So during that period, I'll just work on my graphic design work more. And after that, I'll just do the app then.
And what does this app, it's called Cat on Couch, represent
It's
for you?
actually cat on chair.
On chair?
Yeah, it's a cat on chair.
Sorry about that. So the app's called Cat on Chair. What does it represent to you? Like, is it like a dream project, a new identity, a creative outlet, or something that holds you guys together? Like, what do you think it means to you?
It's
the start of our business.
Yeah, it's more like a creative outlet for me, I guess. I do want to make it work. I do want to make it into a business, but it's just something we want to build together. I think that's more important. In a way, it kind of combines what we like together. Like we both really love cats. She has her cats, although it's back in China. But so it's not just like a random side project.
Because I heard Ryan talk about how the idea got started. Do you mind tell us the story, like how a spark started?
Yeah. So Sarah made a like a cute
Chain.
chain or
you call it necklace. It's
no,
like
it's more like a necklace.
Yeah, it's
but,
a charm.
It's a charm. Yeah, that's a better word. It's a charm, and that it's a chair with a cat on it. I really like it. I call it cat on chair. And then I like the name more than the saying. So I just figured I really want to do something with a name. It just sounds really good. It's really catchy, at least in my opinion. So later on, and I kind of found out all the AI stuff, and it's getting really good. And I also followed quite a few developers. Some of them are building like a Pomodoro timer, focus timer thing, and it's kind of popular as well. So I was just thinking, is there a way to combine those two things together? And that's kind of just how the idea came. And later on, we can work on the idea more, develop it more, and figure out what's the kind of unique selling point is. At the very beginning, it was just really simple timer stuff, but with cats. Later on, we can develop the whole idea of you get a gift from the cat and you sell it, you get more, you can buy more stuff. So, because she really likes Animal Crossing, so part of the app has that element of decoration and collecting. So yeah, it's just a combination of all the little pieces we like.
So where do you hope this project kind of takes you? I'm assuming, how long have you worked on this project so far?
4 months.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months. So
He started earlier, so yeah.
in terms of where do you want this project to take you? Maybe professionally, like on the business side, mindset, growth, light direction. What's your hope and dreams for this project?
So luckily, it can take us to financial freedom.
Well, that's probably another big question. What's financial freedom for you?
So we can have more ability and more time and a bigger platform to create more apps. Because I have like a series of apps I want to make.
What kind of apps would you like to create after this?
Like same like cat theme, but a a to-do list.
Okay, with cats.
With cats. And so it can record your sparks randomly. Because I have lots of like random sparks and I have to jot it down. And so I want to have like a to-do list for me to say jog my random
Ideas.
thinkings, random ideas. You have an app you want to do?
I don't remember. But there were other ideas for sure. I think for me, this goes really far. Like we earn like a couple $100K. That would be awesome.
A year?
Yeah, a year. Why not?
It's already good in total though.
Yeah, but like even if we don't reach that, at least I hope this can help us get enough online audience that whatever we want to build in the future can have easier time to launch. Because now like the social media marketing, building your own brand is much better for marketing. And yeah, I just hope at least that this could help us to do that. We can build more apps. We can even build like physical products, just something related to cats or
cat on chair.
Yeah, cat on chair or whatnot.
And if people want to get in touch with you guys, how could they connect you?
Try to find us on social media. Cat on chair app. Yeah, that's our social
media name.
But at least for English side.
Instagram, Thread, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Yes.
So catonchair.app.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also have a website. It's also catonchair.app.
We have the tradition in our podcast. The previous guest will leave a question for the next guest. The previous question from our guest is that, what do you think is the most important thing for you to achieve in this life?
That's such a big question.
Or what's most important to you in this life?
Just
the freedom of doing things I like.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, for me, it's just be more chill.
You sound pretty chill already.
Yeah, I sound chill, but inside sometimes it's not chill at all.
What would you ask our next guest?
We got two questions.
Let's come up with one question.
Okay, yeah, let's come as one, as a couple.
Sure. I would say, what's the biggest change happened to you in this year?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Ryan and Sarah, for coming to the show.
Thank you.